Hey everyone, some of you maybe noticed we were doing Facebook Lives with Annalie, but we just couldn't get on like the same Facebook Live because Facebook was very interesting. So then we jumped here on a Zoom and we're recording this video for you. And very funny thing, but last time when we were doing the video, we were both wearing green. And now we both have red. It's hilarious. Consciousness is so funny and our bodies and everything. It's just amazing how it shows up. Hi, Annalie.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Satu. So happy to be here again. This is amazing. It's amazing how it works. It's just, I think I would have died earlier, like before, without the access tools. Like, this isn't working. So I'm so wrong of doing everything wrong, and I don't know how to. But it's all of a sudden Facebook have changed the way it worked. Something is like up in the air. I
Yeah.
wonder how many entities want to be on and be seen and be like known and noticed. And it's before we started, it's just it got so intense, and I was like, it's like all of a sudden it's the sense of, for me, it's like I have to control this to get everything shared, or I have to be on time. And I'm like, wait a second, like how many entities actually are so excited right now that want to be share something, or like, and it's like, wait a second. And then I used a tool. That's one of my favorite tools from the last time you came to Tallinn, which was awesome. And I'm so grateful, and it still keeps gifting. So what I asked is like, okay, everybody step further away, and more and more and more. And until I was like, this ease and peace and quiet.
Yeah.
And then I gave them little assignments, and then they were off.
That's so funny. So if it wasn't clear already, we're talking about top the entities here. And I did a class in Tallinn, just the intro class. So that was just like 2-hour intro class, not even the full 2-day class yet. And what that created, and like, I don't know, it's just such an exciting thing. I've facilitated already 4 of these classes this month. Like in November, I was like, wow, how did that happen? But it is amazing how they have this pool, and how there are so many beings who really would like to be heard. And like these classes, they are demanding to be in the world, and these tools are demanding to be in the world. So yeah, I'm very curious. And what did you want to say about the classes?
There's so how much of the entities want to be heard and seen, that want to contribute to you, that I now realize more and more and more every day. And funny thing, yesterday I was re-listening the class from when you were here in Tallinn, and it opened up again more awarenesses. And one thing that is kind of like a big thing in overall is when you have kids, or in relationships, any relationship you have, is like talk to the entities tools come in so handy.
Yeah.
And it creates so much change in relationship in that regard, that you're actually aware of like what's going on really. When you have this, like, you get irritated, or you get this weird feeling of like something isn't right, or it's like, what is this really? And is that this person that you maybe get to be mad at because this person choosing something weird that is to you like, wait a second, like, so, or is this something else? And with Sarah, my 2-year-old, she is really aware of things, and sometimes she talks about things like, oh, there's a monster. I'm like, oh, cool. So, and then I would ask questions instead of going into like, oh no, there is nothing, oh no, there is nobody, which reminded me when I was little and I was aware. I actually, even till today, this morning, I'm so grateful. It is so amazing. Those tools are so amazing. Sorry, like it's just every moment, if you're willing, it gives you so much more awareness and freedom, and you get to be in ease with all of it. Is so back to the topic is that I even like planked that out from my world that didn't exist. I didn't even remember it till today. That when I saw somebody or something, so then my parents or my grandma or whoever would say, no, there's nobody there. So you think you're psycho, you think you're stupid, you think you're hallucinating, you think you're like wrong. Such things doesn't exist.
And it starts to take you out of the like what you are and your being, because it's kind of like gaslighting. They just tell you like you're seeing something there, but you're told that it's not there. You start doubting you. It creates this like doubt in you for everything. So from that onwards, when that is done to us when we're kids, we have to doubt everything. Like everything we're aware of, everything we're about to choose, we always have to go outside of us to look for somebody else to validate it, or like let us know that yeah, this is really true, this isn't, this is what you're imagining, this is what you're actually seeing. So yeah, it's amazing what the talk the entities classes do, because they give you back that piece of yourself that you locked out because you were told that it's not there. And like, because like what these classes often do, they increase your awareness of entities, and entities is the topic that we have most blocked at. Like we put so many walls and barriers there, and then when we put those walls and barriers there, they keep everything out, not just the entities and the entity awareness. And when you take them down, they give you more awareness of entities and everything else also. And that's why it's such a like, we often talk about it being the fast track to consciousness or awareness, because you really have to get rid of your barriers and the walls. And then you're aware of everything: money, people, relationships, your body, all of it. So it's really like talk to the entities class, even though it's more like claiming and owning your awareness class.
Yes, and what are you really aware of? And the thing is that you don't have to do anything. It doesn't give you another job to do or another thing to do that you're responsible of. You're not responsible, but you get to be aware, and it contributes. It's just like it contributes into your freedom.
And one of the things that I often notice with this is that, because there are so many things that like we say that it happened, and when you take these classes, you start really noticing like, no, it didn't happen. What created it? And you get to that point where you can see all the like the starting points of each energy and each thing and each creation. You get access to that, because so many of those things that are like everything is first started from the energetic level. And sometimes we allow ourselves the awareness of that when it's kind of logical, or it's in like some realm that you kind of understand or you're familiar with. But then if something was created because there was an entity there or whatever it is that you don't want to be aware of, then it seems like it just happened and you don't know why it happened. You can't really change it and you can't do anything about it. But then when you allow yourself the awareness of everything and how everything starts and where it's coming from, you can change anything. It doesn't happen anymore. It doesn't affect you anymore. You can go, oh, this created this. Okay.
Totally. And with your children especially, this is really cool to have those tools. They become so handy because they are so aware. like all the time, outside, inside, everywhere. And when they say like, oh, you know, I see something and something, and it's like sitting on your bed, like, you don't freak out. You go like, cool, what does it want? So you can ask questions the same way as you ask questions from people. And it totally, it can be so funny. And what else can show up like that? It's like this morning I was making something, and I was like, oh my god, my hands are so cold, like literally they're gonna like drop down the floor right now, they're so cold. And I'm like, I wonder, what is it really like? It's all of a sudden you're like my like hands. And so I was like, and right now I'm like, there's so many, I'm so excited that like all the entities, I'm like, literally my body feels that way. So I wonder. And then I was like, so what is it really? And I was like, to whom does it belong to? And then I got an entity awareness, and it's like, oh, I'm so cold. And I'm like, do you realize that you don't actually have a body? It's like, oh. And then it shifted, and it's just like, and it changed, and my hands became warm again. I'm like, well, this is, even if you think right now that we are crazy, or this is crazy, or this is obnoxious and weird, yes, at the same time, it creates the ease of living and the space and the freedom. And beyond this, and I'm willing to be the weird
Yeah,
and
and
different.
that actually kind of reminds me of what Dane was talking recently in this one call. Somebody was saying that I'm aware of all the magic and all the possibilities and everything that I could be and everything that's available. But if I really jump into that world of true possibilities and the magic that I can be, I'm no longer functional in this reality. And then Dane was like, well, would you rather be functional in this reality, or would you have the magic that allows everything? So that's kind of also with the entity awareness and all of this, like the tools of access in general, that you can either stay committed and connected to this reality, or you can have everything, which includes this reality also. But it takes that kind of jump out of being completely functional in this reality into the magic and possibilities. And then from there, you can go like, oh, so, okay, I have everything now. I have all the magic and all of that. Do I still desire to be functional in this reality? And yeah, so some people that's like, of course I don't want to lose this reality. I want to get everything right in this reality. And cool. That's like, if that works for you, why not? Go for it. As long as it works for you. But also just don't lie to yourself that there isn't anything else available. There is something else also available. Just please allow yourself to know that that's there whenever you want to choose it.
Yes. And one other thing I want to share is I am so extremely grateful that you have showed up in my life. It's such a gift, and you are such an invitation with this gentle being that you are, and this gentle demand that is the greatest invitation. It has been greatest invitation, and it is greatest invitation for me to be willing to even look at something that I have never been able before, because there hasn't been such space for me that allows it to even like look at it, to look of what I'm aware of, or what is this that I can actually change. And I'm so grateful. So if that could be anything for you guys that are listening, if you're still listening, you must be interested in beyond possibilities and what's greater possible, then I so happily invite you to the introduction we have online with Satu Lindgren on 5th of January. And the time I don't remember, but we will post all the links later on along with the video.
I have to say that thank you so much for saying that. And that's like that you said that today and that we're doing this today, because without making it too, significant, but today is actually exactly 5 years since I took my first Access Bars class and since I got to know these tools. And for me, I never really chose Access because I wanted to like fix myself or fix my problems. I was like, yeah, it would be amazing if I wasn't so fucked up. But for me, it was more like, what is there? What tools are there that I could bring to people that would allow them to be what I know that they can be and what I can see that people are looking for, to be something more and like how their dreams come true and all of that. I could see that that could be possible, but something is missing there. Where are the tools that I could bring to people, that I could invite people to, that would allow you all to have everything you desire? And it's just incredible to see how that one choice to go to bars class that I had no idea what it is, to go there and where we are now, and like what you just said to me, that's like my dreams came true. So it's, yeah.
So just keep on going. What you know is possible, and it might show up in a totally different way. But it's not just the tools, it's just the way of being with the tools.
Yeah.
To want to create greater world, to want to create greater future, to want to create the kingdom of we with everything.
Including
that is available.
Including everything. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you. Possible. I'll see you in the world. Have fun.
Bye-bye.